Hey people, Infantry here, 53 Faction War. This is Khatrin Purification Plant and the Imperial Guard versus Tyranids. For the blue Imperial Guard team, we have OceansAteAlaska with a Lord Commissar and Reacts with another one. These guys fighting melee combat with strong offense and support. Begin with this Refractor Shield. This is the Death Core of Krieg DLC for Reacts. Reacts might be another player playing under a different name, we're not sure. Alongside Inekura is an Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee combat, but can get specialized ranged weapons. Also using the Death Core of Krieg, but recolored slightly darker here. Red Tyranid team, 2 Hive Tyrants, Marky and we've got oLev. These guys walk through objects and cannot be suppressed with powerful disruption and support to begin in melee combat. With a basic synapse, I shall call them Miguel and Hugo. Alongside rounding off the teams, RedRe Venge is a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling hero with great mobility, powerful offense, and a bit of support. Being knocked back there by the Inquisitor. Starts with a ranged weapon but can get specialized in melee gear. Are those termagants going to shoot her or what? Hormagaunts being swept back early on. So Tyranids typically have kind of a rough time against Imperial Guard. The Sentinels carry a lot of weight early on. Although this is a 3v3, so the Sentinels can get flanked and just focus down a little bit easier. Looks like Oceans has gone triple Imperial Guardsmen. Tyranids typically go for a pretty heavy tier 1 against Imperial Guard. Try and absorb losses, keep the pressure up. Hopefully for them, get onto the power and lock it down, but that's maybe a bit of a stretch. Maybe just stabilize on the contested VP with that big tier 1. We'll see though. Triple termagants up for oLev. We see Oceans here on the west side pushing through, messing up the termagants of oLev. Warrior Brood on the way for Marky. Here is Miguel. There's a lot of lasguns here. 4 Guardsman squads. There's another one joining in, and 2 Sentinels. There's the stomp as well. Yeah, I think you're going to need 2 players to push against 2 Sentinels for sure. Here's the Ravener Alpha. There's one of his tunnels. The Sentinels can just walk over and crush them, but you don't get the red and the XP if you do that. Pushing all the way through here. This is Reacts. Needs some repairs on this Sentinel. Got a little bit low there. The repairs come in, but that's a lot of green Tyranid flesh borer stuff going in. Backs away. Left the guard there to absorb some damage as the Sentinel escaped. Hormagaunts getting stuck in. Did they get a kill there? Maybe a couple. 497 to 500 early on. Are you going to cap this VP, Mr. Oceans? Looks like maybe they're going for it, the Lord Commissar. What is this? Some Hormagaunts in the back line's been dealt with though. And now the Imperial Guard contract and absorb the Tyranid push. Maybe. We do have a Barbed Strangler in play. These can make a big difference. Mess with the Imperial Guard lines. If they're suppressed, they might not be able to get to a repair that they need to and stuff like that. Lord Commissar of Oceans with the power sword up. Soon anyway. Power melee weapon will do a lot of damage to the heavy infantry of the Warrior Brood. Still chasing them through. More Warrior Brood coming in now. He's going to go down. Bit too deep there. That was Oceans. RedRe Venge, I think, got the kill. Inquisitor runs away. Don't overextend, said Inekura, just as that happened. I mean, a hero loss isn't the end of the world. You'd much rather lose a hero than a squad, probably. Heroes can get down to 250 requisition for the revive. Tyranids. Excuse me. Tyranids here pushing through the mid. And look at this. It is Hugo, the Hive Tyrant, getting on the VP on the western side. Big old push through. Double Warrior Brood for Marky and double Raveners for RedRe Venge. Raveners seen as pretty damn strong these days. I think they're getting a slight cost increase in the next update. Seeing a lot of those guys in tier 1s. Lord Commissar of Reacts just chilling out over there. And they get actually a decap, maybe even a triple going with the VPs here. Barbed Strangler Warrior Brood is oLev. Do we have one for Marky? Yes. In fact, they're both Barbed Strangler Warrior Broods. Used to see this actually in retail many years ago. People would run double Barbed Strangler Warriors. Blue team get their VP back quickly. And now need to try and break out. This is a lot of firepower though. Those double Raveners, the Ravener Alpha of course, all those Termagants. And we could see Venom Cannon Hive Tyrants in Tier 2. Speaking of Tier 2, the Imperial Guard players go. We're going to see at least one Chimera, I would think. There's Hammer of the Witches on poor Hugo here. Absorbing those lasgun shots. Hasn't quite leveled, but does have the improved Synapse and Psychic Scream. What about Marky Marks, Miguel? No war gear there. Red Revenge has the hardened Carapace. So we may see him go for a melee weapon, but not necessarily. Just wants the disruption perhaps. They're keeping the pressure up on this VP quite well here. Imperial Guard playing defensive until Tier 2 runs around. Inquisitor almost got the cap. Brood Nest goes up. They're going to try and lock this power down a little bit. Whose Brood Nest is that? That's oLev's. It's a Chimera for Oceans and a Chimera for Reacts. Reacts had to replace a Guardsman squad there. Can they get just a little bit of this power maybe? It's going to be tough to hold it down. They've got a lot of stuff here, the Tyranids. It's a good shot with the Barb Strangler. Looks like they want kills and not gens. They should break out when the Chimera comes in. None of the Tyranid players going Tier 2 yet. I think, yeah, Marky Mark is pretty close. But they've gone for that heavy Tier 1. It's paid off so far. Look at the map. It's very red. What is this? That's Hormagaunts having bashed the node. They need to decap it though. Lord Commissar gets stuck in. There's Oceans with that power sword. But it's dealt with reasonably well. Using that crippling poison. And just pouring the damage on. Ouch. That could be very nasty. That frag missile launcher for the Sentinel on those blob duck Termagants, especially if they can explode a Warrior Brood model in there. Looks like oLev is quite rightly backing away here. Down goes the Brood Nest, and here's the Chimera. Support vehicle for Imperial Guard to transport and reinforce infantry units. They can also shoot out of it with those special turrets on the side, which is kind of unique for vehicles, although the Orky Battle Wagon, I suppose, lets you shoot out of it. Or at least activates extra weapons when you're inside it. What are we going to see in terms of anti-vehicle then? Marky Mark is the first to go Tier 2. I don't see a Venom Cannon queued up. You might see it on oLev actually, because he's got that improved Synapse and the Psychic Scream, kind of this support Hive Tyrant build going. And it's good to sit back with the Venom Cannon when you have that. Doing what he can. The cap is going on though. Can't stay here forever. Hive Tyrant is actually really low. Backs away. Did not see the Psychic Scream go off there. Maybe it did already. Brood Nest is going to be taken out, I would think. Although, being flanked, is that Judgment up on a Ravener Brood? It is. Inferno Pistol in play from Inekura. Also has the Liber Heresius. So got the decap, but that's actually well done by Red Revenge to come in here and stop the full cap, at least for now. 275 to 500, big VP lead for the Tyranids. But now, a Bane Wolf is on the field from Inekura with that Chem Cannon on top. Dangerous versus blobs of infantry and can just dissolve generators so fast. There's that, I'm not sure what they actually call that ability there, the Bane Wolf. But it slows it down, much like the Bilious Discharge of the Plague Champion. Yeah, it's bad news. Bad news for blobs of Tyranids. And now they're going to hit the power, maybe. These guys have flamers. They seem confused about what to shoot with them. You can do it, fellas. They're going to get there in the end. There we go. There's the 3 flamer fellas they got there. You see Reacts just parking his Commissar out front to absorb some fire. They bashed something. It's a little bit awkward. Sentinel of Inekura with the missile launcher. Reacts also has one, of course, as you've seen. Meanwhile, west side, we do see the Venom Cannon on the way for the Hive Tyrant. Powerful anti-large target weapon from range. Could do some real work against that the Chimera, especially if they have... Do they have the Thorax Swarm? I'm not sure if they have it yet. Oh, it's on the way, as you can see there. 2-to-1 cap for the Imperial Guard. Lots of pressure put on with this Chimera. Been used really well so far by Oceans, and Ogren's on the way for reacts. That was Judgment on the Ravener Alpha there, who's got the Synapse Aura for damage. Yeah, Tyranids been pinned back. Look at the map turning blue now. Oh, they took down the Bane Wolf. Venom Brood had something to do with that, I'm sure, and a Thorax Swarm with the Electroshock Grubs also, I'm sure, had something to do with it. We might see a full power bash here though. They've got stuff off the field, and these are Flamer Guardsmen, and a whole bunch of others with plasma guns too. These are Inekura's Guardsmen. Yeah, they're going to get a full bash there, I think, quite clean too. Judgment up on some Raveners. The first attempt to take down a Chimera, but you saw Oceans went straight onto the Hive Tyrant, the biggest threat to his Chimera, and tied him up. Well played, Oceans. Chimera lives. Looks like it was pretty close to going down there. So maybe if oLev was a little bit quicker with the Crippling Poison, might have been able to get it to keep the Commissar away from the Hive Tyrant. Gonna need to keep an eye on that in the future. We have a Tyranid generator in the mid, which is odd to see. Another Judgment from the Inquisitor. She's getting a bunch of those off. Having some fun with her Inferno Pistol. Here are the Ogrins with their bonehead leader. I think it stands for Biochemical Ogrin Neuron Enhancement or something. That's what the bone part of that comes from. They give them a bunch of drugs to get smarter, basically. And they're smashing on through. Crippled by the Crippling Poison, but that's some micro that needs to be done to now keep the Ogrins and the Commissar under control. And we see the Bionic Eye for Inspired Determination. There it is. See those yellow buff circles on the Ogrins. Speeding them up, making them do double damage. Pretty nuts. And they're reinforcing, of course, off the Chimera once the execution goes through. Big pressure here. Down goes the Commissar though. Ogrins are fiercely loyal to Commissars in the lore. What is this? Some Pormagaunts still alive. Oh, is that Flak Jacket? It is. Inspire Courage. Is now Inspire Terror. With Stubbornness too. I assume he was aiming at the warriors there, but didn't quite get a model with it. Does it tell me how much damage it does? No. It would tell you on the ability itself, I suppose. Electroshock Grubs on the Chimera. Venom Cannon Hive Tyrant of oLev here, trying to get some stuff done, but is plasma gunned away. But look at this flank. Venom Brooder there, look at the damage on the rear armor. Chimera can't move. Did he get... Must have got double Electroshock Grubs, so this is another one coming in. Did not seem to be able to move there. Oh, Hell Fury Strike came in too, I think. And that's a Basilisk Flare as well. I think that was a Hell Fury. I think I saw some fire there. Mines dropped in. Tyrant Guard goes down. That was Marky Marks, I think. Or maybe not. Whose was it? It was oLev's. Looking at the colours, I think. Poor Tyrant Guard. I love me some Tyrant Guards. Keeping the pressure up. They've absorbed a lot of damage here. Lost the Chimera, lost the Bane Wolf. But it's tier 3 time. Oceans is there. Sorry, Inekura's there. Oceans is on the way. You have some Kashyyykin up already. No weapon upgrade yet. Trying to make their way through is now oLev. I guess they're waiting for tier 3 now that the Tyrant Guard is down. Just can't get them off the VP. What is this though? It's some Pormagaunts got onto the VP on the west side. That's alright. They're taking theirs back. Trying to go slow and steady. Not really the Tyranid way to go slow and steady. Usually they throw everything at an attack and are repelled, but they can just do it so often and so well that that's how they keep the pressure up. Fully commit to everything. Sentinel might want to back away. There we go. Inekura's got a level 3 Sentinel there. And we have a level 3 Ravener Alpha. Lord Commissar kept alive by that stubbornness. They did get the VP there. 2-1 for the Tyranids again. They do have a VP lead as well. And Marky Mark, RedRe Venge, both tier 3. Here comes a tier 3 Lictor from RedRe Venge. Triple heavy weapon squads from Oceans. Ready for Carnifexes, I suppose. This guy has an autocannon. Also an autocannon here. Wonder what we'll see on that third one. Ready for everything with an autocannon. There's a brood nest up. Maybe the third or fourth that I've seen. Ogrin still in play. Waiting for something to charge. Here we go. They found something. Get crippled by the crippling poison though. Everything just backs away from the Lord Commissar. Another crippling poison. Did not use Inspired Determination. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, he actually did it on the Bonehead Leader, I think, there. Don't think that was intended. Heals the other models up to full. And they are trying to smack around some Venom Brood, going after the Hive Tyrant now. But they're dealt with reasonably well there. Lost another model too. Wasn't the best Inspired Determination from Reacts. Commissar was also lost, but Inekura pushes through. Doesn't push for the power, which is probably smart. But does get a nice decap there. And the Imperial Guard take back the west side. Carnifex number 1 is on the way from Marky Mark. Tier 3 for Reacts now. Looks like Oceans is the only player in Tier 2. Has those triple heavy weapon squad fellas. And we have triple auto cannons. They all have those shields up as well. Very handy shields that prevent knockback. This is Oceans. Some plasma guardsmen. Also plasma guardsmen for Inekura. That's a lot of plasma guns. Is it plasma Kashyyykin? It is. They can explode warrior brood pretty fast. Also focus down Hive Tyrants and stuff pretty fast. This is Hugo at level 3. Look at that. Look how quickly those 2 warrior brood models died. They did get a Barb Strangler shot in there. Lictor jumping in. This guy has heavy melee damage, a leap as you saw, and a flesh hook. Not to mention he's able to infiltrate without draining energy. It's a really strong tier 3 sub-commander hero type fella. Not even a Lictor Alpha can get heavy melee damage. Pushing on through though. Just face tanking a whole bunch of auto cannons, trying to get into melee, as you can see. There we go. Well played. Pushed on through. But that's a Hell Fury and a Chimera's there too. Not to mention the Sentinel getting missiles in. Hive Tyrant a little bit isolated here. Lost a lot as oLev. Was a costly push. 242 to 240. It's pretty much evened up on the VPs. But the Imperial Guard with the advantage in map here. And Leman Russ is on the field for Inekura. No weapon upgrade yet. But there's a fella popping out the top, which is probably perfectly safe. Carnifex on the field for Marky Mark. No upgrade yet, but is fighting some Ogrins. Starts off with those big old heavy melee claws. Taking some damage here though. Ogrins are heavy melee. And now they're Inspired Determination up, and they're going to take down the Carnifex in short order. Thanks to the appearance of the Leman Russ as well. Ogrins get the reinforce off the Chimera. Zone Thrope on the way for RedRe Venge. A Carnifex for oLev. Tier 3 for Oceans. Lost one of those heavy weapon squads, but they took chunks out of those Tyranid lines as they came through. Is everyone just plasma gunned up now? I think so. Aside from those flamer guys from Tier 1, of course. It's a lot of plasma guns. They trade pretty well when they're fully upgraded with plasmas. Yes, they'll lose models, but they also reinforce them very cheaply and very quickly. Here's a Carnifex with the Barb Strangler on the way for oLev. Help control these massive infantry blobs. You see the Imperial Guard here not overcommitting to vehicles. If you overcommit to one thing, it makes you easier to counter. Yes, you can just overwhelm with sheer numbers of vehicles. But Tyranids these days, they've got some anti-vehicle going on. Got these Venom Cannon Hive Tyrants, you've got the Thorax Swarms, and of course the Carnifexes, not to mention the Venom Broods themselves. So they're not committing too hard to tier 3 tanks and stuff, giving the Tyranids a bunch of things to worry about. Like, you know, really pissed off Ogrins. This Leman Russ is taking a lot of damage. Hammer of the Witch is trying to go in on Miguel there. Is she too far away? I think she's too far away to get it going. Ogrin's on the march. Meanwhile, west side, Tyranids trying to push through. There's that Barb Strangler Carnifex. Look how much damage it's taken already. Not sure what that was from exactly. The autocannons perhaps. The Chimera, the Sentinel of Inekura has been amazing. It might die now that I've said that though. There's Purgatus. Big old AoE control ability. Decent damage too to infantry. That Liber Heresius, of course, giving her tons of energy to use all her toys. Here comes a Carnifex, a Red Revenge, and a Baneblade from React and Inekura. 242 to 134, single cap here for the Imperial Guard. They are going to take the west side, I assume. Ogryns have worked out how to do it. Bonehead Leader comes in handy. Ogryns shouldn't be able to cap unless they get a Bonehead Leader, I think. Or maybe just cap like slower than normal or something. Most Ogryns like can't write letters down. That's how dumb they are. Flesh Hook and Death on the Inquisitor there you saw. Baneblade also on the way for Oceans. We're going to have triple Baneblades rolling through perhaps. That's going to be a big surprise for the Tyranid players. I don't think they were expecting 3 of them. Crippling Poison on those Ogryns there. Need to be so on top of that because Inspired Determination turns them into killers. Another Hell Fury goes in from Inekura. Lictor jumps into a whole bunch of trouble, but that was good disruption there. Here comes the march of the plasma guns. Lord Commissar of Oceans trying to tank this damage to get the revive. Gets it and gets away. You saw a little burst of healing from Stubbornness there. It really does heal you a hell of a lot when you've got this much infantry around you. 242 to 103, 2 to 1 cap for the Imperial Guard, and here come the Baneblades very soon. What Carnifexes do we have? This one has no upgrade. Not sure where it is. There it is. We've also got this Barb Strangler guy and another one on the way. Did Red Revenge ever get one? The roster's been full, so I haven't been able to see it on the field. Oh, there's one. Red Revenge has a Venom Cannon Carnifex. Took a lot of damage there. The Ogryns, they still have a Chimera though to reinforce off. How much is it to reinforce an Ogryn? 12 power, you know. It's not cheap. 12 power per is quite a lot. Here's the triple Baneblades now. Oceans is perhaps going towards the mid, not the west side. Here is Inekura's, slightly darker. And we see Reacts as a tint of blue perhaps. Deathcore of Tree, kind of bluish grey. 2 to 1 cap for the Imperial Guard. And now the Baneblades roll in. Can they hold on here? Lictor goes down. 48 red for a Lictor. That early Carnifex loss, I think it was it oLev? Or was it Marky Mark who lost that early Carnifex? That was painful. Kind of messed up the momentum there. They're meant to have like 4 or 5 Carnifexes at the moment. Maybe they do actually. I think they have at least 4. Oh. The Tyranids conceded. They saw triple Baneblades. I mean, look at this in the middle. 2 Baneblades, a Chimera reinforcing tons of Guardsmen, a scary Inquisitor, and a Leman Russ, supported by Bunker. Another Bunker on the west side too. I mean, they could have given it one last hurrah with all their Carnifexes, but the Imperial Guard played it really well. That strong tier 1 with the Tyranids then hit him back. And that quick tier 2 with the Chimeras and that Bane Wolf played out kind of to the book. But the Tyranids couldn't quite push through at the end with their Carnifex march. Well played, the Imperial Guard. Let's look at these heroes end of the game. Level 6 Lord Commissar for Oceans. Level 6 Inquisitor. Level 2 Commissar for Reacts. Level 3 Miguel the Hive Tyrant had bonded exoskeleton at the end. Ravena level 5 and a level 3 Hive Tyrant for oLev. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part. And of course Impregnable for getting me these replays. I'll see you next time.